What's up, boys and girls? It's your guy Radical, and I know these episodes are few and far between, but this is episode 6 of Behind the Creator. And even though they are few and far between, I feel like that gives each episode its time to like marinate a little, like get its chance in the spotlight. Because these are very special episodes to me because I get to interview a friend, a content creator that became a brother, and tell you more behind the creator, quite literally. Like, you know a username and you know the content they put out, but on this podcast I want to help you know the man behind the creator, the name, the person, all that. And today we got a fellow N10 member, an N10 brother, the man, actually the most recent N10 member, Roxx, as you know him, but as I know him, Noah Boa, all the other nicknames I got for you.
Nah. I got yeah. The boa is crazy. I got a whole story for the Noah the boa.
Oh shit. But
because that ain't the first time.
Oh. This is a family show, all right? This is a family show.
Oh, yeah, it's family show, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, yeah. We don't have to get into that story. That's fine.
Sheesh. But, yeah, man, it's good to see you. For those that don't know, this man has to be one of the worst social media people I know in my life.
I was just gonna say, let me start off by saying I'm the worst friend of all time because I was supposed to do this.
Whoa.
I don't even remember, Tuesday.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
Week.
And I'm all giddy, bro. I'm like on my bed, like stomach down, like feet kicking, and I'm like, I can't wait for Noah to hit me up and do this podcast. And he left me dry.
And I was probably, I don't even know what I was doing. I don't even. I saw your text and I was like, nah, I actually really forgot.
Yeah.
And then
by a few days,
I was like, no, but that's too much because I didn't realize. I was like, no, and I got so upset. I was like, no, there's no way. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And I just saw Matt crying, bro,
bawling my eyes out. You guys need to understand, when I need to reach out to this guy, I have to go on my PS5 and send him a message. That's the only way to get through to him. I'm like, I gotta send this man a PlayStation message just to contact him. This man don't check his Snapchat, he don't check his Instagram, he don't check his Twitter, he don't check nothing. He'll check it like 2 weeks down the line.
I think you started that trend because you're the first person that texted me on PlayStation app.
I see your ass playing that Stardew Valley. I'm like, oh, he gonna see this.
Half the time I'm not even playing it, and I'll be like in the bathroom, and then my girlfriend will be like, Matt texted you, your boyfriend. I'm like, what?
I love this shit.
Like, what are you talking about?
First me is your boyfriend. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so to my girlfriend, Matt's my boyfriend because there were some leaks, and as leaks I mean there was a live stream from the N10 charity stream where we were cuddling in the background. And we can't beat the allegations anymore, so
we're cooked. There's literal video evidence.
There's video. There's like multiple clips.
Our affair.
Yeah.
But hey, you and Aiden have that one thing where y'all in like the bed flopping around and shit.
Nah, wait, was that shown? Nah, nobody saw.
Oh shit! Sorry, Aiden. Yo, that shit leaked.
Okay. When you're the new member in N10, they use you. Let me just say that.
It's initiation, bro. You get used up.
I remember one of the first times I was hanging out with y'all, I just heard, I think it was either Aiden or Cisco just saying like, oh, they just like you, because you're fresh meat. And I was like, what? Who is saying this?
As Noah's just in the corner like, me?
Yeah, I was just sitting down.
He gets pulled in by his legs, bro. Crazy.
Yeah, I was... That
crazy.
Was great.
All right, well, we could go on for the entire podcast just making gay ass jokes because that's how N10 goes behind the scenes. But we're not here for that. I want to teach these people all about Noah behind the screen. So right off the bat, there's a couple questions I got for you, and I know you said maybe you'll bring a couple topics to the table, so feel free to talk about whatever you want if I'm not asking the right questions. But right off the bat, my boy Noah, are you an actual Florida native, or you just like have grown up and lived in Florida?
Florida native is crazy because that like puts more respect on the fact that I live there. But no, I do. Yeah, I was born and raised.
Okay.
In like a shitty part of Bradenton or fucking Florida. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it because I'm like native, but I don't feel native.
Really?
So, but I've lived here my whole life.
Now, why don't you feel like a native? I'm curious. Is it just
I don't know,
like
when
the
you're
Florida man allegations? Like you're just ashamed to be from Florida, or is it like you just never felt like you fit in?
You know, I don't put up like crazy numbers and like fighting crocodiles or like, yeah. So yeah, I kind of feel ashamed because I'm like one of the low key Florida natives. I don't know if there's anything like this where you live, but we normally in most towns in Florida we have dedicated like Facebook pages and like communities that thrive off of taking photos of dumb people and then posting them online, and then everyone makes fun of them. So
all right, no, so we have
like
the community pages, but it's not directly for dumb people. That definitely sounds like a Florida thing.
Oh, okay. Because we do like crackhead something or like Floridian gone wild or something, like it's something weird. And so normally there's like that, and I don't fit that category, so I'm kind of ashamed.
I can see
one guy he takes dumps in hats and he leaves them around town. He's famous for that, so I don't compete with that.
That's crazy. I do like whenever someone's from Florida, I just have to ask. Like I remember the whole road trip before you had joined N10 because it was 2021. Like the whole time I was like, my one goal, I want to see one wild alligator. I didn't see a single gator the whole trip. How do you have like any kind of gator encounter? Like do you see them commonly, or like nah? Is that just like a Florida stereotype?
I feel like it's so. I don't know. Maybe I'm like.
Like could you step outside your house right now and like see a gator in your backyard?
Not where I live, but where I grew up, yeah.
That's crazy.
They're in just lakes.
Crazy. That's not even a thing here. Like I want to see a gator. I gotta go to the zoo, or I gotta like travel. Like
that is weird because I can just see one like if I walk 5 minutes from my hometown.
Do you have any crazy encounters with one, or like nah? They're usually chill.
I ain't going to no gator.
Well, no, I mean like if you're walking on the sidewalk and the one's like right there on the lawn, does it like come right at you? Like they're aggressive, no?
Yeah, they're aggressive if you make them, but most of the time they're pretty chill. They're in the water, and I just watch.
Really, I would be fast.
It's not even like it's not even weird. It's just a gator. I don't know.
Crazy. I don't know. See, that just shows you different perspectives because like you're just so used to it. But over here, I'm like, we got like coyotes. I've never seen one, but I know Massachusetts got a lot of like black bears and shit. But like,
why is that not worse than a gator?
I think it's worse because that bitch gonna come right at you, like a bear. But
that's true.
You guys must have bears in Florida, no?
The people, I guess.
Yeah, the fucking Florida
people
men.
Look like bears.
Florida men. Oh shit.
All the Florida dads look like bears.
Crazy. But okay, this is gonna be a good transition to what I really want to start digging into is the meat and the N10 questions before we move on to your personal shit. This is a great timing for this podcast actually because we have the N10 movie, depending on when this podcast goes up, either coming out very soon or just released. That was a whole experience because obviously, we all shipped up to Pennsylvania, filmed it and whatnot. I just want to hear, like, personally for you, you have always been around on YouTube in the community, but you also haven't just because of your whole, like, bad qualities of social media. People are just probably curious, like, especially as the newest N10 member, like, what have the two big meetups that you've been on, the PAX 2022 and the N10 movie, as well as I know you've met up with Lazy down in Florida a couple times. Like, what have those like meant to you? How were they? Like, how was it being up with like all the boys? And how is it being like the new guy? Like, did you feel like welcomed in, or like was it weird? Like you're like, these guys are all like established. I gotta like weasel my way.
That's what you would think. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. And I always knew I'd have like the most interesting perspective because I was like the new person after you guys were like 9 people for like, I don't even know how long, like a year or something at that point. And I just came in and I was like, I know all these guys, but it's super different when you're actually in the thing. Like it actually is like, even just hanging out is different than like being in the group and doing stuff and hanging out. So I thought it was going to be like worse because I was like, nah, I can't talk to people. I'm bad. Like this is half the reason why I don't even respond to things. I'm bad at talking to people. So I'm like, this is just going to be like bad. I'm going to fly out and I'm gonna be with a bunch of people and just not talk and stuff. But it was like the exact opposite. It was like better than some friend groups I had, like, you know, besides the people in my house, obviously, that I grew up with, like, better than a lot of the random friend groups in my hometown.
Yeah.
And everyone was just so, like, inviting, maybe too inviting sometimes.
That's true. A little too inviting, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah. I don't know if people even realize, like, with production stuff, we get serious sometimes. Like, we get, like, sometimes in a grind mode or whatever, and like, all right, guys, do this. We get stressed out. But once everyone is together in a room and there's some free time, it's just a bunch of screaming, howling monkeys just like running around,
literally,
like little kids. Everyone's like so excited to be in a sleepover, and everyone's like, yeah, and like everyone's jumping around and like, look at this, like everyone's just running when it's like peak like good vibes, you know.
Yeah.
And so that was really nice because, I don't know, it was weird. I was like, there were so many things that could go wrong. Yeah. But it was like perfect.
And was that PAX 2022? Wasn't that your first time on a plane, or was that wrong? That might be. Mm-hmm. It was your first time.
Yeah.
So like, you must have just been feeling all the fucking like nerves, like not only to have that fear of like, oh shit, like this is gonna be weird, like I'm gonna have social anxiety, but also like your first big travel experience.
Yeah, that was weird too, because I've always wanted to go to like a city, and my parents, they're like pretty they're not strict, but I don't know if like anyone is like those kids growing up that like everyone would go to their house and play games. Mm-hmm. I was the one that wasn't allowed to go to the house and play games. Mm. So I was like not outgoing or anything. I was like, you gotta stay inside, you gotta do this, you gotta do all that, because the world is dangerous.
Yep.
And then a bunch of guys I've known for a couple years online are like, fly out to Boston and then come hang out with us. And I'm like, that's a good idea, I guess.
Culture shock.
Yeah, it was so crazy. And I was like, so many things could go wrong, and like I could just like, I don't know, have an anxiety attack and die. I could like, something like scary. Yeah. I was like, that's a possibility. And then luckily it was like way easier than I think it should be for like first timers.
Yeah, 100%. And then what is it like, what was I gonna say? Like, I literally lost my train of thought. Well, okay, so that experience. What about the Rocco one? Like, I feel like maybe just touch upon that a little bit, like filming a movie together. Like, obviously the movie's out or coming out. Like, just a quick little summary about how your perspective for that trip was.
That one was weird because like it felt better. Like, I was definitely more comfortable with everybody, but this time was like, all right, boys, let's get to work.
Yeah.
And we were just working nonstop. And I got sick. That's the first time I got sick in like years.
Oh my God, that's
right. Cisco made me sick. Yeah. And I was like, no, I can't. And then the time we actually had time to have fun, I think when y'all were going around Philly, I was like, I can't get up, I'm sick. And I was like, Sky, I'm just gonna lay down on your couch, and then I just like passed out.
And by the time you woke up, like, it was time for you to head right to the fucking airport.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, this sucks.
That's one thing that you learn really quick, is like these N10 trips, like someone always gets fucking sick, and like something always goes wrong. We learned at the most recent Rocco wedding trip that something always goes wrong.
Something happened with Litz. I ain't gonna say.
I'll have to tell you that after the podcast. But I mean, the N10 trips are great, and I'm glad that you've been able to be on 2 now, and then you also are one of the only guys, out of the whole group. We have the Pennsylvania boys and we have the Florida boys. So you're one of the only guys that actually has like someone right there with you. Like, I know you said like you and Lazy are maybe like hour and a half apart, something like that, and y'all be hitting CEO up all the time.
Yeah, with CEO and other stuff, I think me and Lazy have hung out, including like group trips. It has to be like almost 6 times already, which like feels like, I don't know, it feels so him especially feels so natural, because we just see each other like every couple months.
Yeah. No, it's good to have. I mean, that's something that, me being way up in Boston, like, it's a great city to be in, but it's like the closest people to me are like the PA boys, which like that's still like a hike for me, you know.
That's still a trip.
So yeah, I'm glad that you know you were able to just kind of transition right into the group, like become one of us. And, like for me, like being in N10 since the start, like when I think of N10 now, like I don't even think about like tenure. I'm just like, oh, like you know, Noah's one of the boys, like you know, like I like I have to remind myself, I'm like, oh, he's only like been here for a few years, you know. Like I just feel like once you do one of those big trips, it's over. It's like, oh no, you're a brother. Like,
that's the difference of like showing who's actually like, all right, he's cool enough to stick around versus like, nah, he's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
Yeah. I hear you.
And it obviously doesn't matter, like, because I know I got this question once, and I think I got it again from a close friend. They were like, when I mentioned like joining N10, I was like, I joined this group, and I did get the question of like, are you like big enough to join, or like, are you like this? And I didn't even think about that because I don't think anyone cares. Like, I don't think that matters at all, which is like very good telling, because I was like, no, there was like other people, if they wanted clout or like, you know, numbers or something, they could have chose that. But nah, it really is like, who would vibe with everyone the most and can bring something to the table. And then it's like, all right, Noah can, Roxx can.
100%. That was our exact like ideology in getting you in. We were like, he's cool. Like, let's see how it works. You know, we were like, it's been a while since we've added anyone. Like, I think before you it was Lazy. That was the newest one, I think.
Yeah,
and
which
we were
is
like,
crazy.
Fuck it, like, it's time.
He was already there for like 2 years almost.
Yeah, it was like a long time. Like, we're talking like COVID was the last time like someone had like joined N10, and then here you were like, you know, 2 years later, we're like, you know what, fuck it, let's change it up. But while we're on the whole topic with content, I know this is a big one that I really wanted to cover on this episode, is just like your content. I feel like you're capable of just putting out like a banger. You're capable of putting out, you know, you get that deep ass voice, and every time I see your video, someone's like, your voice is magical, bro. Like, you should be like a radio talk show host. But what I really want to cover is just your struggle with it, bro. Like, for you personally, I feel like you always talk about consistency. And what is it that just holds you back from staying consistent? What is it that holds you back from the motivation, from just being, you know, I'm going to post a video every single day type of content creator, which you had a content like month or something a while ago, right? And like you pulled it off pretty well, but just in general, like what's your struggles with content creation?
I think that's a hard answer. That's a hard question.
It's very abstract. I'm sorry.
Like I'm like the worst. I think I'm like top 3 worst out of N10 when it comes to uploading.
Damn.
Because there's a couple people in N10, you know, we upload like once a year, twice a year or something, and I'm just bad at it. I think that just goes with like why I don't respond to people, or why I'm bad at like consistently texting, because it's all about like routine that I don't have, and then courage, and like having the fear of like talking to people and stuff just makes every little thing hard to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm just over here like, I could do this, but it would also be nice if I rotted in my bed for a second.
Nah,
because like
that's
it
too
just comes
self-defeating.
back to but it does come back to that, like, because sometimes I'll get up when I do make videos. That's me getting up and being like, what the hell why am I rotting? And then I make a video. It's not like the absolute hardest thing in the world. It's just like I can't get to the point of starting it, because you know, like, especially lately, my videos are getting like longer and a little bit more like precise with how I edit, because that's just how I want to edit. But it was hard just getting to that point, because I'm like I don't know, like the stuff you guys make is good because you guys like are more it feels like you got, it's probably the same with half the people, but it feels like other people like you guys are more concise with like, oh, I'm just gonna make a cool short video about this, or this one's gonna be a little longer than this. And me, I'm like, this can't be under 20 minutes now, and then it has to be like better than the last one, and then I have to learn something new while editing, and I have to do this. So it's just like, getting the courage and setting a bunch of rules on myself to do the next one is just always harder.
Yeah, I see. No, it definitely sounds
harder each time.
I'm no therapist, but it definitely sounds like you got way too much self pressure.
Oh yeah,
hatred.
No, you're 100% right.
But what do you like?
I don't know hatred. I don't know about hatred.
No, hatred was definitely a strong word.
You got a lot of hatred.
Self-criticism. Self-criticism.
Yes, yeah. And I have a lot of and overthinking.
Yeah, 100%. No, but that's just all serious, and I feel like that's a big thing that holds a lot of people back. Is like I could do X, but I'm not capable of doing X because X, Y, Z. And it's like you're always like giving yourself these obstacles. Do you feel like it's a sense of like, how would you describe it? Like, is it like you're being lazy? Is it like you're too overthinking? Like, what is contributing to it? Is it just like work, which I do want to talk about later, because we gotta address the donut making shoes and the donut making, but we'll get to that.
Nah.
But
put a picture up.
The donut making shoes. We need the plug walk with the fucking the gif of the tennis guy.
And the dirty ratchet shoes.
Dirty ratchet. Shit. But I don't know, like, how would you like describe it? What do you at least think or feel that is like the biggest contributors to just, holding you back from that content? Because just recently you had one video like pop off. And why do you feel like that didn't motivate you to just like put out another one? Like,
That's a horrible question because there's a horrible answer.
Oh.
Everything is so, like, everything really is easy. Everyone's problems, and especially mine, just stem from like whatever happened in your childhood that makes you work like this. Because I don't actually think anyone's lazy. Like, that's what I've come to realize. Nobody's really lazy because they've always had something that they're like interested in or good at doing or passionate about. It's just how passionate are you about whatever you can do that like can bring you something back, and then add discipline onto that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why my stuff is good, because I am passionate about what I'm doing, or I can say now it's good, at least in the past like year.
Yeah.
But like the problem is like the discipline part just stems from like, the overthinking, or like the setting too many rules, or like doing everything in my brain that's like the opposite of just like getting there and getting to work, which is like also affects like how I talk to people and how I respond to messages, which also affects like how I work and stuff. And I think it's just like how you set everything in your life, because like most of my stuff is just like poorly set, I guess. I don't know. Like, you have a professional job, right?
Yeah.
And you're definitely really good compared to so many other people at professional settings.
Yeah.
Which is something I could not stand.
Just because you don't see yourself in that kind of environment, or like?
Yeah, it's like environment. It's like, where do I excel at? Is that ability? Is that opportunity to excel at here in this environment type of thing? You put me in like a shed and you tell me to like, I don't know, build something and then like make a stupid retrospective on that building. Like, I'll make the best thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, I believe
it. It's just like different settings.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, my setting is just like uncoordinated with how my brain works. So like, I'm not adapted to anything yet.
Do you feel like there's a sense of like I feel like I know you by now. Like, I know how much you be dreaming about shit and how ambitious you are, and then like I almost get frustrated for you. I'm like, bro, just do it. Like, I know you can do it. Like, I see your brain cooking 24/7, and you were actually the guy that made the final N10 movie trailer, and that shit banged. I'm like, this dude is just filled with all this talent. Why isn't he doing it? Do you feel like, and I'm just guessing here, I'm just throwing this up, do you feel like it's like a sense, and this isn't supposed to be a therapy session, I apologize, this is the way it's going.
It's about to be a therapy session.
I apologize that this is the direction it's taking right now, but I'm just curious, do you feel like it's a sense of like, you just have so much, you have like a bucket full of ideas and ambitions and whatnot, and you just don't know where to start attacking it, so you end up not attacking any of them? Like, you're almost too overwhelmed by how many dreams and ambitions you have, that you just don't know where to start chipping away at. So then it's like you're kind of just like treading in the mud. Like eventually I'll get to my 150 incredible talent-filled ideas, but until then, I don't really know how to start. Like, is that kind of, that's what I feel like I'm picking up on.
Yeah, that's where like, you're right, pretty much. Yeah, enough said. No, that's where it all stems from. Yeah, and that's why I think it got a little better as of late. Since I'm like more attacking like the actual root of like why I think like that, you know, instead of just like suffering from it. Yeah. But yeah, it is like that. I feel like that's proper to talk about because normally in my videos, if anyone doesn't know, I normally relate some type of game that I loved, and I normally relate it to some like emotional part of my life or some like some intricate part. Normally ends up being about my brother or about something I went through or like something that kind of adds to it, that feeling. And this is a therapy session pretty much.
This is getting deep. This is probably the deepest episode I've ever done in this podcast. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Honestly, that's fair. When's the last time I made like a dumb video? I don't even know. The intent trailer. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably like the intent content, but on your own, like I've been seeing your shit. It's been like evolving into like the most intellectual J. Cole level of like, here's my art, here's my content, but I'm also gonna give you a message at the same time. And like I love that. But it's definitely been a change, like for you. Like you used to do shit, like you had that one clip you did for me, like sitting in the bathtub, like being shirtless. Like you used to be a goofball. Now you're like this intricate therapist on the come up.
Now I'm like, I'm a self-made philosopher. Like,
but nothing's wrong with that. But it's just an evolution. That's the evolution of Roxx, you know?
Yeah, I think it becomes wrong if I start like telling people stuff that hasn't affected me or I haven't been through. So far we're good. Everything I've said is pretty much true stories or true experience. But yeah, I think it just stems from that. It's actually about to be a therapy session because a lot of that just stems from being overwhelmed, people pleasing, and making sure everyone around you is absolutely okay before you make yourself okay. And that's what it is because I'm a middle child, so my job was to make sure my older brother is fine because he got some disabilities, and it's also to make sure my younger sister is fine because she's a young girl, like she doesn't know anything. Yeah. And she still don't. So
that's a hard position to be in for sure. Like,
and you got like normally middle childs are like the neglected ones, I think.
Forgotten
about stereotype. Yeah, so I was also the golden child because I was the one that's like, ooh, Noah, he's gonna get married, he's gonna have kids, he's gonna become successful, he's gonna do all this before any of us. And so you got like the emotional neglect. That sounds so bad. my family's great, but you got like it's more like a misdirection and miscommunication because you know, sometimes when you're a parent, you're not fully emotionally there, which is fine. So it's just like the mix of emotional neglect or confusion plus like overworking for other people. And then you get someone that makes 3 videos a year, but they're really good.
Yeah, 100%. It all correlates. It all correlates for sure.
It all does.
That's why I love this podcast. It shows the person, bro. Like, you're not just Roxx. You're Noah, you know? You got shit going on. You got a family history. You got life, which we're going to talk about, all the shit going on in your life. But I cut you off. Finish your point.
Oh, no, it's good. I can promise people 80-90% of the time, I'm not just like sitting on my bed, rubbing my belly, saying, oh, they love the Luigi's Mansion video that I did. I don't need to make another video for 5 months. I don't think like that. I'm thinking like the second the Luigi's Mansion video uploaded, I'm thinking, oh my god, I have to make Luigi's Mansion 2. And that has to be 2 times better than Luigi's Mansion 1. And then I had to think like, now I have to make sure I learn a whole new editing technique. Maybe I should just do a new documentary on this game. Maybe I should stop doing that and do a different video idea. Maybe I should just work on something completely different, and that's the cycle. That's like the cycle of like you never know what you're doing because you want to do it all.
Yeah.
Like you were saying. So I've cut it down a little bit. It's a little bit better. I cut down some ideas. One thing that's helped me, I don't know if you've ever done this. One thing that's helped me with ideas is like put them off for a couple decades. You ever thought about that? Yeah. You ever thought about
you're like
something
22.
Like
You've only lived 2 decades. What do you mean a couple decades?
you ever thought about like, okay, when I do this crazy project, I'm comfortable doing it at 38. You ever
I
thought
see what
about
you're
that?
saying. I see what you're saying. So shit for the
like
future.
I don't need
okay.
Yeah, I don't need to worry about it right now.
Yeah,
That's
no,
something
100%.
I can do.
Yeah,
that helps me a lot.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like I don't need Rata News episode 9000 right now, but if I see it when I'm 30 years old, I'm gonna eat that shit up.
Yeah, 100%. Some things just are better left alone to cook, marinate, evolve, and then as you change as a human, it's like you might be able to add even more to it. You know,
Yeah.
like it could. If I put out, you know, as you use Rata News right now, or for you like a video essay, if we put it out right now, it could be a 9 out of 10. But maybe if we let it fester for 5 years, 10 years, the person we are at that point with that same project, we could bring it up to an 11, you know? Like, I see that, I do see that approach 100%, and I do that myself. But I feel like that's also a dangerous approach, because then you could be on the borderlines of, like, procrastination. You're like, I'll get to it. I'll get to it in 15 years. Like, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like, it's all about finding that balance, bro. I feel like balance always is, like, my favorite word in life, is just, like, find a balance to, like, keep yourself in check. Don't let it become procrastination, but also don't force it and rush it if it doesn't have to go out yet. And I think for you, again, I'm no fucking therapist, so what I'm saying doesn't mean it's right, but this is just my opinions based off my experiences.
It's right to me.
It's right to you. I appreciate that. But you did have the whole Luigi's Mansion like example. I feel like instead of even letting your brain just like run like a fucking hamster on a wheel with all those options, you're just gonna be like, you know what, bro? At the end of the day, Luigi's Mansion is fun. I love this game. Start talking and then record it. There's your video right there. Like, just trick yourself. Trick yourself into fucking just filming the video, just because when you put that fucking self pressure on yourself and you're like, nah, it has to be better than my last one, it has to do this, it has to have a new editing transition, like, that's just so many pressures that is just gonna hold you back from ever even doing it in the first place. So even if you put it out, I know some people are gonna always argue about quality over quantity and whatnot, but I feel like, at least for me, I'm a big advocate of, like, just fucking do it, you know? Like, for me, like, if there's a trip I want to do, just fucking do it. Yeah, I could wait another 5 years, but what happens if I lose my leg? You never know what can happen. Like, just do it. That's do it. So same with content. That's always kind of been my mantra. I think that's the word, mantra. Is to just, like, fucking do it. Like, you know, if I have an idea, do it. Yeah, I can save it for a couple of years, but do it, man. So that's my best advice. But I don't want to be your therapist. I'm not your therapist. So
yeah, but what if I do it, Matt, and it explodes on me and nobody likes me anymore? Oh man, what do I do then?
You know how this is gonna be. Okay.
What if I upload Luigi's Mansion 2 and then I find out I like texted Luigi the Miner or something, like I'm a doctor, and now I have to go to jail because I just did it.
Nah, those are those demons with that overthinking just swarming over you, bro. That's crazy. Yeah. And look, I'm gonna tell this to the viewers right now. This is like an N10 insider secret, and the boys are probably gonna hate me for saying this, but it's true. We gas up so much shitty projects that each other put out. I put out some shitty stuff and people gas me up. I've seen other people put out pretty shitty stuff, but like, we're just Intel, we go support each other. So at the end of the day, even if you put out like a literal piece of feces, like if you literally put a video of you just shitting, the boys are still gonna support you. So you're never gonna have a point in time where everyone's like, dude, that was an awful fucking video, delete that shit. Like, you know, like,
yeah.
Even if I guess in a sense it's fake, which, and that's what I'm saying, I don't like this point I'm making because it seems so like convoluted, but like, your real
yeah.
friends are gonna support you no matter what creative direction you take. Whether you do a full change in content, whether you do, you delete your content and you decide you want to become a miner. Like, screw it, man. Like, whatever you decide to do, like, your real friends are gonna be there to support you. Yeah, that's kind of the one point I wanted to drill home, because that crazy overthinking where you're like, everyone's gonna fucking hate me. Like, nah, you gotta stop that.
If that was gone, dude, I would have so many videos this past year. Just like, I would at least double what I have now, just because, that does affect it a lot. But yeah, I know one step is kind of remembering that, like, it don't gotta be the best for, like, people to still appreciate you and, like, respect you. And yeah, even if it flops, it's not like the end of the world, which is how my brain sets it up to be.
Yeah, 100%. I do want to move on because there's still so many other questions I have, but the one last thing I'll say about this little discussion is I feel like we always got to remind ourselves too that, like, this shit, at the end of the day, YouTube and content creation, it's a form of art, and all art is subjective. So even if you think it's the best, there's always going to be that one person out there that's like, yeah, that video fucking sucked. Yeah. You're always going to have a hater. And when you get that one hater, that's what's going to bring you back down.
And he's on the list. That's simply, he's on the hit list.
The hit list is crazy. That's not the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make was, like, trying to think, like, there is no best. There has to be a threshold where it's like, I'm proud of this and it's going out, and in 3 years, even if I look back on it, I'm like, that's just so cringe. It's part of your evolution, like, it's part of the Roxx story, the Noah story. And that's how I view my shit. Like, I used to do all these skits and shit when I first started. Now I look back on them and I'm like, that's my digital footprint. Like, I can't come back from that. But I leave them up there because I feel like it's part of my story and part of my evolution. So it took me a long while, because I was definitely like that when I first started. I was like, oh god, like, this has to be the best, has to be the best edits. Videos were taking me days, weeks to complete, and then I kind of reached this threshold where I was like, nah, you know what, like, even if this gets 20 views, if I'm proud of it, it could blow up one day. You never know YouTube's algorithm. I'm gonna just put it out there and, like, move on. Like, I used to hawk YouTube analytics and look at the views and be like, what the fuck? They don't like my shit. Like, I used to be freaking out. Yeah. But I think it just comes with the maturity and, like, experience of, like, I'm proud of this, moving on to the next project. Like, I can't just let myself dwell,
I know you mentioned earlier I had a small video that kind of, like, did better than normal. So I don't really normally get videos that go over, like, 1,000, 2,000 views, but yeah, I uploaded a video this year that got like 8 or 9K, and that was the video I was really pushing and telling myself that I was like, okay, after this, like, I saw it kept going up, and I was like, after this, I don't care what I make, I'm just gonna drop, like, I'm gonna force myself. That's the first time I've ever done that. I'm gonna force myself to just make something I like, and then I will expect it not to blow up or not to do as good. I'm not gonna, like, pressure myself, and that helped me. That worked a little bit, but how long does it take for you to make a normal video? I need to ask.
Shit, well, it's been a minute. Like, if we're talking like a normal radical video, like, one of the last real normal radical videos I did was, like, probably the one with Cisco, like the Pokemon Snap IRL or whatever the hell that shit was. That shit still takes a minute. Like, even though it ends up only being like a 5-minute video, you got all the green screen and you got all the, like, assets you got download off YouTube. I'd say a good couple days, like maybe a solid, like, 3-day time span is, like, that's like a real video. That's my guess, but that's just me, That's, like, my subjective time frame for what I deem to be.
Is that good for you? Is that too much?
Oh, it definitely gets too much. That's why I haven't been doing skits no more. This shit's been way too much work for, like, 100-something views. And it's not that I want my work to be blowing up. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, like, my channel skyrocketed and anything I put out was getting views. That's the dream, right? But I've just, like, right now, I kind of personally have shifted to, like, the podcast and doing shit like this because it's just a little easier with my life schedule. And I've just enjoyed conversations with people. So I'm just kind of like,
this is your professional era.
Yeah, I'm just kind of adapted my content to fit my professional era of my life 100%.
Well, hey, I love it.
I appreciate that, man.
Because it's slowly getting me into more of the sphere of wrestling.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I've ever done was play games as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a games podcast episode of wrestling on your channel, hey, let me know.
I got you, bro. You on the list.
Got you.
You on the hit list.
But I'm on the hit list. Thank you. The hit it from the back.
Pause.
I'm sorry, it's family friendly. Because I think a video for me like takes, like if we're starting from like me playing the game, or not even, don't even count the game, because games can take 6 to 20 hours.
Yeah.
With what I normally play. But like going through the game again, getting some footage, editing it, writing scripts, that stuff takes like a long time.
Yeah.
So I've done, like, you are right, I should just get on some days and just like record and talk and like just see what that comes from, because I do have the problem of like every word needs to be perfect.
Yup.
And every script and stuff, and
Perfectionist syndrome, bro.
And it would help if I used AI, but I don't. I keep away from AI because I think it'll ruin me. But all these things would help, like people, especially you telling me and people telling me and stuff. But like that's just hard to do. I don't know how you guys do it.
No, like, it's not. Life ain't easy. That's what it all fucking stems down to. Is like, if it was easy, everyone would be rich, everyone would be super happy, you name it. But people got real life problems. People got real life grinds with jobs and whatnot, which is a perfect transition into what I want to ask next. But you just gotta understand that is that even though you might, I personally want you all, you and everyone watching and everyone that's on YouTube, no matter what you do, whether it's cooking, gaming, wrestling, travel, IRL content, no matter what kind of content you make, I want you to be ambitious, have dreams, like strive for 1 million subscribers, strive to be the next Mr. Beast. Why not? Who's telling you no? Well, you never know. But don't like put that pressure on you. Just enjoy it. Just push it out. Have fun with it, But also understand that you're a human. You gonna have to work. You got bills to pay. You're gonna have family shit going on. You're gonna have relationship shit. You're gonna have X, Y, and Z happen in your life. And when you can just understand that, and again, I'm gonna bring the word back, have that balance of it all, that's when I feel like you got the DJ Khaled like fucking keys to life, Like that's what he be saying. Good. He's like, this is a major key or whatever the hell he says. Like that's what he's preaching about. He's like, yo, this is the key to life. But the transition I want to make is, for you as Noah, I know you ass be grinding. For the longest time, you had 2-3 jobs. Nowadays, you're back to just making the donuts. What has that whole work grind been like for you? Where are you at right now? And are you happy with where you at, or are you still dreaming and looking for a occupation change eventually?
That's because there's always the point of in every group chat, where's Noah? Oh, he's at his second job or something. There's always
grinding.
Grinding. It's last year it didn't matter what time of the day. It was I'm at work. There was 5 hours, I think, max when I was at home every day. The amount of time I was off of work. And even that was taken up by transportation sometimes. So that goes to what I was saying earlier. When I said I don't think people are necessarily lazy, because I don't think I'm lazy, even though there's maybe some traits of that, because I obviously worked and grinded too much, and now I don't know if you want the whole story of why I stopped working that much, but now I'm at a better place, and I don't know, maybe it was a good sign that I accidentally didn't message you back in the podcast late, because yesterday I had a little epiphany for trying to make my current job a happier setting than what it was, which I think everyone should do, because now I'm a donut baker, but also manager, assistant manager kind of ordeal. So I'm running the shop, and I'm also in there every morning, early morning baking donuts.
Hell yeah.
From my greasy little hands.
Yeesh.
I'm in there throwing them, putting holes in them. Anything you think of when it comes to donuts, I'm doing it handmade. And then I continue the. Yeah, it is. It's okay. And then I continue the day, and I'm helping customers, and I'm saying, all right, here's this special donut. I'm doing that for like 10 hours a day, most days. And, because I know you like your job.
Yeah.
But I don't know how often you don't like your job. I never hear you hate on it too much, which is good. But for a while, I was hating on my job.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
audibly, you were mentioning it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I hate this shit.
I hate this. Just like, this ruins my day. And a lot of people, especially food service people, everyone will understand, like, that stuff is serious, because you're just like in front of impatient people that want food now.
Yep.
And then you go home at the end of the day and you don't even have that much money or like worth to save for it. Which I think, whereas your job is like really cool, because you're like, oh, I did this thing today and I like did that, and like I kind of have like something, even a little bit, to show for it. And donuts and baking is fine. If anyone wants to be a baker, honestly, do it. It's great. Because once you get one baking job and you become good, you can get, I guarantee you can get any other baking job you believe in. But if you fall out of love with baking, which is what I did during these past like year, it just becomes like hard, and you don't want to go into work, and you don't want to put as much care into the same thing you were once doing for what felt like was fun. And I don't know, I got some advice yesterday from a business owner in my plaza of the shop, and she really helped me like take initiative and to be like, no, you can actually make your job fun. And there are ways to make even miserable jobs exciting. It's all about like how much leeway you have. So I think that's what I'm working on lately as of the past like 2 days. Mm-hmm. Before 2 days ago, miserable.
Damn.
Like, I need out. But past 2 days, it's like, all right. Because it is a lot of mindset. There is a point where you're like, physically don't work here anymore. But yeah, I hope people don't get to that point, but if you're a regular human in America, you probably will.
Yeah.
Get to a miserable point at some point.
It's inevitable. I mean,
it feels inevitable.
You have that, as I did the whole preach earlier about like, don't put pressure on yourself. But at the end of the day, just as an adult in America or anywhere in the world, it's like there's just natural given pressure of like, well, if I stop working, how am I gonna pay rent? Like, those are inevitable. And it's like, at the end of the day, you gotta be making money.
Yes, I've been thinking about this lately. I'm like, if you're just a regular person in America now, at this whatever age, and you don't have your family didn't have over a certain money limit, you're already born with a backpack full of bricks on your back. Like, there's no way you can get away from this weight unless you do like extra steps that take a stronger mindset to get over. So I don't know, I think that's why I like talking to you, I like seeing what you're doing, because I feel like you've gotten over a lot of steps, and I always forget. Yes, or you got some impressive steps that you've taken, honestly, and I'm at that point now where I'm taking those.
Yeah,
I'm at the start of taking those.
I mean, you give me a layup with the transition, because I wanted to ask, like, what's next, not just for Roxx, because obviously Roxx, we had the whole conversation about the content, but what's next for like Noah? Like, it sounds like, you're still having the whole battle with the passion of your job, donut making, so like I had mentioned, like, is there an occupation change in Noah's future? Like, what other like big ambitious goals do you have? And it doesn't even have to be career wise, it could be like maybe like a trip you want to take, or like something that you're just like living for and taking those steps for? Like, what is one of the lights at the end of the tunnel for you? Whether it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this to get to this point, to get this job, to go on this trip, to do this. Like, what are some of those things that you feel like you're, trying to work towards or dreaming about?
Well, I mean, we kind of mentioned I think of everything, which is really bad.
I know, you're about to give me not a single one because there's too many that you're thinking of.
I actually have you. I actually will give you a clear set of mine because this is what I've been working on. Have you played all the Life is Strange games?
2 of them, I think.
Yeah, but not True Colors.
Not True Colors,
right?
No, not yet.
Okay, so I'm not going to say anything crazy, but in True Colors, there is a good message about helping others, and that was different than the other 2 games. And playing that, I beat it last night, and playing that did make me more significant in my answer of like, I really just like being community driven and helping others, whether it's like those around me or like in other ways like online or something, just helping others in like concrete ways that don't need applause. I really love that.
Yeah.
And I thought everything needed applause when you help somebody, but no, there's help people for free, and a lot of times it'll come back to you in good grace. So I've been wanting to do that more lately. And of course my dream, my ultimate goal is like videos or editing or some like form of creating like a story, whether it be like the writing process or editing process. I would love to do that. That would be my dream. Like I could die doing that for the next millions of how long I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
But there is also like more realistic goals that we can talk about and attain. And I think that transition is I'm going to stray away from donut baking.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to get into baking for dogs.
Oh, that way,
Hear me? Yeah.
Customers can still bark at you, but in a very different way. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Come on, that was a good one.
That was good. Well, I guess it's a good point to say I want to start a dog thing with my girlfriend.
Hey.
But if the customers are barking at me, I don't really know. That's true. I guess I got to go with the customers. Customers are always right. Damn.
That's true.
You're right. But if a 300 million pound dude wants to start barking for me,
you got fold at that point.
I got to fold.
You got no option. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
So it sounds like no matter what though, like baking is what you do see yourself doing for still a while, right? Like at least you do enjoy it. You're not doing it just to pay the bills. Like you're at least finding some kind of enjoyment in it, right?
It's like there is root of happiness to it. It just like the current setting right now of baking is like gotten miserable. But lately I've been like really passionate about baking treats that, this is gonna sound weird, hear me out for 2 minutes.
I'm hearing.
2 minutes. Baking, nobody stole my idea. God damn it. Unless it's in your community, then that's great. Baking treats for dogs that is also very healthy and edible for humans. So both people could eat it. Not saying it might necessarily taste the absolute best, but I have figured out ways to bake good things that dogs like and is healthy, like really nutritious, and no chemicals, no nothing, like a bunch of pure ingredients.
Wow.
And almost no other market is like doing this right now. And it's also a thing of like, I've already given some samples and done some things for other people and their dogs and stuff. And that goes back to like what I like to do with helping people. And you can get really close to people by helping their dogs. Like they will love you.
Oh yeah.
They will appreciate you.
That's their baby.
A human. Yes, it is their baby. So I've found like a lot of enjoyment in like that communal interaction, and hopefully soon one day going to a farmer's market and selling treats I've made and customizing them and stuff. And then if I can do that and make videos and I get income from both and stuff, I could live so long doing that. That would be great.
Yeah. So if the video editing, for example, took off, would you ever do that full time and drop the baking, or you definitely want to have both going at the same time for the foreseeable future with your life?
I would. That's a good question. I didn't think about that. That would be bad if I just told my partner, "Hey, you're good. You're good to go."
Just that's crazy.
Hey, you got this. I think I would help still.
Yeah.
I think it would be like 90%, 80% editing stuff, and then
Still have a hand in it though.
yeah,
That's good.
because I trust my partner in her business, and then I would definitely use a lot of money to support.
Yeah,
I think that's a good balance.
for sure. There you go. You just said the keyword, balance. That's what we all need.
Well,
in
you got me thinking
every
different. I
damn
said
aspect of
balance.
life, bro.
Never
Well,
said balance in my life.
real.
Never, I don't use that word.
I think that's about to be the title of this podcast, The Balance of His Life.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, there's so many more questions I want to ask, but we've like already just about hit an hour. Like this passionate therapy session has gotten us so deep in the podcast that I think we're going to have to end it here. But if you guys want more of Noah's story, follow him on YouTube. Follow him on social medias. You'll maybe get one post every 5 months, but it's going to be a very important, valuable post, whether it's a video that he put his heart and soul into. Maybe he decides to put out a little update or something, you know. Check out the N10 movie. We're both in it. Check out any of the N10 content.
What is it? June 27th.
June 27th, which, like I said, I don't know when this podcast is going to go up. So it either is going up today, is going up tomorrow, or it already came out. It's one of those three. Because today's the 26th at the point in which we're recording this.
Yeah.
So
the reception so far for the private showings are amazing. Everyone loves it. So check it out and watch it again and again.
Hell yeah, over and over.
Let's
share it
get it
out
to
with your fans.
50,000 views.
50,000? 100,000. You know why not?
150,000 views.
200,000. Just keep
250.
Oh shit. 300,000.
You know, I don't think we can go past that.
No, it's definitely way past our ceiling. But
yeah,
you never know. Maybe one day. Because like I said, even if you are not thinking that your video is the best, maybe one man's trash is another man's treasure, just like Macklemore once said in Thrift Shop, you know. So come on, yo, I am just banging this podcast. First the barking, now we got Macklemore reference. We're out here eating today on this podcast.
This is why he's your host, people. This is why. This is what you come for.
They're about to steal the podcast from me, man. They're gonna be like, yeah, Behind the Creator does not belong to you no more. It's crazy. But dude,
I watched
for real.
Behind the Creator because of Matt. Yeah.
For real though, man. Thanks for coming out. Like this has been
It was great.
a treat, not only for the viewers but for me, bro. This is our first like one-on-one conversation in like literally like a year since like we filmed the N10 movie. Like I never get to see you, so this has been a treat for me.
Maybe we have to make dates with each other.
You hear that? I don't know. I don't know if your girl watching, but you got some competition. I'm still here. She do. She didn't know about that. But yeah, that's where I think we're gonna end it. Thank you so much, genuinely again, for like taking time out. I know you literally just grinded a shift, and you're like, I'm gonna come home and we'll do this podcast. So this man.
And then after this, I'm going to volunteer at a craft store.
There you go. This man just goes 24/7, bro. He loves his community. Hopefully, you love your community. And give back. Do anything you can, whether it's a little volunteer event or creating dog treats that are also edible for humans, whatever it is, man.
Don't do it too well though. That's my idea.
That's true. That's true. Maybe change it to like cat treats. Then you're in the clear.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're in the
clear.
I'll
steal that.
And then, yeah, it'll be this vicious cycle of just stealing from each
I'll
other.
sue.
Yeah, suing and copyright, bro. But all right. That's it. Thank you so much for coming on Behind the Creator. I'm glad, even if it was a couple days late, we finally got to do it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay,
bro.
It's okay. But that's it, man. Hey, you already know how it goes. Stay radical. These episodes will probably still be kind of few and far between as I focus on the wrestling content. But I do want to keep this podcast alive because I've just really been enjoying every episode. So we'll let this Noah episode just kind of marinate on my channel, fester up the views, and let people listen to it in its entirety, hopefully. If you've been supporting it, thank you. I got a lot of love for the Rocco episode and the past episodes. So I definitely want to keep this going and tell people stories, you know? Like, I feel like it's a cool opportunity to learn about people, not just as, you know, the Nintendo content they put out, but the other shit they got going on. Maybe 80% of you did not know that Noah here fucking bakes donuts. Now you know.
Probably not.
Now you know. But, again,
Thanks for watching.
thank you, man. Those are his closing remarks. Stay radical. We'll see you in episode 8 of Behind the Creator. And please, please watch the N10 movie. N10 the movie.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Peace out. Woo.
Stay radical. I always want to say that.
That was a good one. You took that right in time.
Oh, yeah.
Stay radical.